The following is the 35th class on the Nectar of Devotion given by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, recorded on 8th January 1973 in Bombay.
Shri Gurun Vaishnava
and of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada, by whose inspiration I have been engaged in the matter of compiling this summary study of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. This is the sublime science of devotional service as propounded by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who appeared 500 years ago in West Bengal, India, to propagate the movement of Krishna consciousness. Srila Rupa Goswami begins his great book by offering his respectful obeisances unto Sri Sanatana Goswami, who is his elder brother and spiritual master, and he prays that Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu may be very pleasing to him. He further prays that by residing in that ocean of nectar, he may always feel transcendental pleasure in the service of Radha and Krishna.
So, Sri Rupa Goswami is first offering his respect, obeisances to Sanatana Goswami, his elder brother, at the same time Guru. So we offer our respect in that way. Bande Rupa Sanatano Raghujugo Sri Jiva Gopala. That is the way. We cannot jump over the highest authority directly. That is not possible. That is not the etiquette or rules, regulation. We have to go. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Gopi Bhattu Padakamalo Dasu Dasanudas. So he presents himself as the servant of the servant of the servant of the servant of Krishna. So in order to become Krishna's servant, we have to become the servant of the servant of Krishna. So my Guru Maharaj is servant of Krishna, his Guru is servant of Krishna, his Guru is servant of Krishna. I am also servant of Krishna, but I have to approach through the other servants, not direct. That is not possible. Krishna will not accept that service. If one disrespect the Parampara system, then he will not be accepted by Krishna. Just like Sridhar Swami. Sridhar Swami wrote a commentary on Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and other Acharyas also, they wrote. So we must follow the principle. The Subodhini Tika was made by Acharya, but because he presented himself more than Sridhar Swami to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he requested Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to read his comment on Srimad Bhagavatam when he was at Puri, but he was little proud of his nice commentary, that he said it is better than Sridhar Swami. So that was not tolerated by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he did not fear the Subodhini Tika. He remarked, Swami Jiva Nahi Mane Vishwavale Gani. So this is not the way. We cannot approach Krishna direct. we must go through the Parampara system. Bande Rupa Sanatano Ragajugo Sri Jiva Gopala. So Narottam Das Thakur also says that Rupo Raghunatho Pade Hoibe Aputi Kabe Hama Bujava Se Jugala Pirit. In order to understand the transcendental loving affairs of Radha and Krishna, one has to go through the teachings of the Goswamis. Rupa Raghunatho Pade Hoibe. This is the way. So, Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami and all the 6 Goswamis, they develop this Krishna consciousness movement by sitting together in Vrindavan, and not only in Vrindavan, in that very particular place, Radha Damodar temple, where we have got a little space, that you have seen Rupa Goswami's tomb, that space, all the 6 Goswamis used to sit down and discuss Srimad Bhagavatam. Gopal Bhatta Goswami was reading, and all the other Goswamis, Rup Sanatan, they were hearing, and Jiva Goswami was writing comment. That is the comment of Krama Sandarbha. So that place in Vrindavan, Radha Damodar temple, is very sacred place. And so they were practicing this Krishna consciousness. Krishna Kirtana Gana Nartana Paho Premam Nitamba Nidhi Dhira Dhira Jana Priyo Priyakaro Ninimatsaro Pujito Sri Chaitanya Kripabharo Bhuvi Bhuva Bharavahantarato Bande Rupa Sanatano Ragajugo Sri Jiva Gopala. They were practicing to teach us. Apani Acharya Prabhu Jivere Shikhar. Simply teaching will not do unless we practice. That is very important thing. Practice. Practical life. Simply quoting verses like parrot will not be very much beneficial. One must apply. Jnana vijnana sahita. Jnana means to know the thing, and vijnana means to apply the things in practical life. Jnana vijnana sahita. So we must know the vijnana. How? Practically. That is taught by the Goswamis. Krishna Kirtana Gana Nartam. Always chanting the glories of Krishna. Kirtana, Gana, Nartana. Nartana means dancing. The dancing is very good. The more you dance, the more become light. Means the burden of material contamination become reduced. Dancing is so nice. Even if you don't feel ecstasy, it dance by force, that will also help us. Krishna Kirtana Gana Nartana Paro Premamritam Nidhi. By dancing, we shall develop our dormant Krishna consciousness, love for Krishna. This is a nice process. Krishna Kirtana Gana Nartana Paro Premamritam Nidhi. Then he'll merge into the ocean of love for Krishna. So, this is the first stage of ecstasy for Krishna consciousness. Always chanting Krishna's name, dancing in ecstasy, and to be merged into the ocean of love for Krishna. These are the perfection. Dhira dhira jana priyo. In this way, we shall become friendly to every people. Dhira or dhira. There are two classes of men. Dhira, sober, and other class, rogue. So both of them will be pleased by Krishna Kirtana. And you have practical experience. When there is Krishna Kirtan, people, all classes of people become very much pleased and they join. As soon as your Kirtan will be pure Sankirtan, not artificial, not professional. There are many professional dancers. That will not attract. But even if you do not know the art of dancing, if you simply dance in ecstasy for Krishna's love, that will be appreciated by everyone. That will be appreciated by everyone. Krishna Kirtana Gana Nartana Karo. These are the arts. One does not require to become a Vedantist. Simply if one chants Krishna's name, holy name, and in ecstasy dances, is more than a Vedantist. Actually, Vedanti means one who knows the ultimate knowledge. Veda means knowledge. And Anta means ultimate. Vedanta. Now what is that ultimate knowledge? Krishna. Vedishta sarvayam eva vedam. That is ultimate knowledge. So one who has understood Krishna and Krishna's love is dancing, then what more Vedanta can do? That is the first class realization of Vedanta. Krishna Kirtana Gana Nartana Paru. So we should always offer our respect to the Goswamis. Ei chhay Gosai jar taramui das. Nartam Das Thakur says. Dasavar padorenu mor panchagras. We should be so humble, respectful to the Goswamis. That not only these Goswamis, anyone who is serving the Goswamis has also the mission. Sri Chaitanya mano vistam sthapitam jena bhutali sayang rupa kadamayam dadati sapadanti. That is our prayer. Sri Chaitanya mano vistam. Lord Chaitanya's desire. What are his desire? His desire was পৃথিবীতে আছে যত নগরাদিগ্রহ সর্বত্র প্রচার হইবে মোর. That is his desire. Not to sit down in a secluded place and to get cheap popularity. He is a very meditator. But even if he is meditator, but that is for himself. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that go everywhere, in every village, in every town, and preach this gospel. Prithivite ache jato nagaradigya sarvatra prachar haive. This is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's monovishta. That is his desire. So, Sri Chaitanya monovishtam sthapitam jena bhutale. The Rupa Goswami, they established Sri Chaitanya monovishtam. Rupa Goswami was instructed by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally 10 days in Allahabad. And similarly, he was instructed regularly for 2 months to Sanatana Goswami in Benares, because he wanted Sanatana Goswami and Rupa Goswami to preach his mission, monovishtam. Therefore our prayer is, we offer this prayer. Sri Chaitanya monovishtam sthapitam jena bhutal sayanga rupa kadamayam dadati sapadantikam. If you want to preach the gospel of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then the personalities who established by writing these books, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Bhakti Vilas, Vidagdha Madhav, So many books they have written. So we must go through them. We must try to understand. There we can understand what is the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Bhagavad, Chaitanya Mangal. There are so many. Chaitanya Chandrodaya by Prabhupada Saraswati. So many devotees. They have given us so many high literatures. We should consult. Therefore, the prayer is Sri Chaitanya Mano Vishtang Sthapitam Yajena Bhutara. Persons who have established the desire of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Padantikam, when they will give a shelter on their lotus feet, that means Goswamis. তাদেরও চরণ সেবী ভক্ত সনে বাস জনমে জনমে এই মোর অভিলাষ. Narottam Das Thakur said, তাদেরও চরণ সেবী. Let us serve the lotus feet of the Goswamis and live within the association of devotees. Otherwise we may fall down. Bhakta sane bas. One must live with the devotees. Satang prasangad mama bija sangvida bhavanti ritkanna rasayana katha tajjosanat asu havavarga varmane sadhya bhakti rati anukramish. Satang prasanga. We should have discourses of Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam or any literature about the Supreme Personality of God. Mama Bija Sangvida. Those words are Bija Sangvida. Bija means potential. It's like if a man is potent, as soon as there is sex, he gives birth. Potence. Similarly, we should associate with devotees who has got potential. Mama bija sangvita. Bhavanti ritkanna rasayana. Otherwise we may go on hearing for 3 millions of years. We are in the same position. But the words must be from the potent person. Potent person. Then he will act very quick. Therefore Krishna himself advises, Satang prasanga mama bija sangvida. Satang, devotees. The same thing, Narottam Das Thakur says. Kadero charan, the desire should be how to serve the Goswamis, how to serve Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, how to serve Krishna. That should be the desire. But this desire can be fulfilled when we are living with the devotees. Therefore we have got this society, Krishna Consciousness Society. Anyone who will live in this society, naturally, will develop Krishna consciousness very quickly, very easily. Satang prasangat mama bija sangvida bhavanti ritkanna rasayana katha. Krishna katha is very potential. Therefore, Sanatana Goswami advises, Vaishnava mukhad girna puto hari kathamritam savanam na kartabbam. Vaishnava mukhad, this professional, who is not actually Vaishnava. Vaishnava means whose life is dedicated for service of the Lord Vishnu. He is Vaishnava. Vishnu asya devata iti Vaishnava. So, one was taken Krishna and Vishnu and Rama, they said, there is no difference. Krishna includes everything. Ramadi murtisu kala niyamena tittan nana avataram akarad bhuvaneshu kintu Krishna sayam samavavat paramapumanaju. Krishna is the paramapuman. Although there is no difference between Rama and Vishnu and Narayan and Krishna, they are the same potency. Just like the candle, first candle, and lit up another candle. There is second candle. But this second candle is not less in power of lighting. It's the same. But still, this is first, this is second. Similarly, Krishna Swayam Samabhavat Paramapumajo. Krishna is the original. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Ete Cham Sakala Pungsha. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. All others, they are incarnation and kala. But Krishna is the avatari, the source of all incarnation. So, Bhakta Sanibas, Satang Prasangad Mama Bija Sangvita, the Krishna Katha or the discussion about the Supreme Personality of Godhead becomes very pleasing. And Satang, when they are discussed amongst the devotees, the non-devotees, and he may go on seeking, but it is dry. It does not give any relish. Therefore it is advised, Satang Prasanga, one should discuss Krishna consciousness amongst the devotees. Just contrary to this, Sanatana Goswami says that Avaishnava mukhad gina bhuta hari kathamritam savanam na kartambam. Avaishnava, who is not a Vaishnava, Mayavadi. Mayavadi philosophy is very dangerous. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had personally said, Mayavadi hoy Krishna aparadhi. They are offenders to Krishna. Just like the literatures. What is the literature? Krishna is black, something.
Vishnu Sahasranam.
Huh?
Some commentary by this Vishnu Sahasranam.
Krishna is unknown, a black thing. A Mayavadi, great philosopher of this city, he has explained like that. The Mayavadi philosopher, Dr. Radhakrishna, it is not to Krishna. So, the Mayavadi's only business is, because they are Vaishnava, not Vaishnava, only business is to kill Krishna. That Sanatana Goswami has in his Haribhakti Vilas has very strongly recommended that don't hear anything about Krishna from the Mayavadis or the Vaishnava. Those who are forward, those who are advanced in Krishna consciousness, they can protest. They can immediately chastise the rascal. What you are nonsense speaking. But a Kanishtadhikari, he cannot challenge. Therefore, it is forbidden for them not to hear. Kanishtadhikari. For an advanced devotee, this Mayavadi cannot do anything. But those who are neophyte, they become sometimes victims. Therefore, it is better to forbid them, not to hear. So, Sanatana Goswami has said, as Krishna has said, Satang prasangad mama bija sangvida bhavanti ritkanna rasayana katha. In the association of pure devotees, Krishna katha becomes very relishable. Ritkanna rasayana. It is relishable. It is very pleasing to the ear and to the heart. Rit means heart and karna means this oral reception. Both ways pleasing. Bhavanti ritka. Atajosana, if one little tries whatever he has heard, then saddha bhakti anukramishati. Saddha, the real beginning is saddha. Adu saddhya, tato sadhu sangha, tato vajana kriya, tato anartha nivritti syat, tato nishtha, tato ruchi, tatha shakti, tato bhava, sadhukanam ayam premna pradudbhavi bhavet kramaha. These are the different steps, the Sadhya. So, by hearing from pure devotees, Satang prasangatmo bija samvita bhavanti vitkanda rasayana katha, it is very pleasing to the heart, to the ear. Tajyosanat asu apavargavatmani Sadhya. Beginning is Shraddha. Sadhya bhakti rati anukramisya. Therefore, this Krishna consciousness movement, the association, is opening different branches to give people the chance of hearing about Krishna in the association of pure devotees. That is required. Read, hear about Bhagavad Gita from the pure devotees, not from the rascals. Then you'll never get anywhere. Sanatana Goswami forbids, na savanam na kartabma, never hear from these rascals. Why? Krishna Katha is very good. Never mind, he is a rascal. What is the fault of Krishna Katha? He is giving this example. Savanam na kartabbam sarpachishta payojatha. Milk is very good, everyone knows. But when it is touched by the leaf of a serpent, immediately it becomes poisonous. If you take that milk, then you'll die. So Krishna Katha is very good. But when it is touched by the leaf of the Mayavadi, non-devotees, it becomes poisonous. It becomes poisonous. Poisonous in this sense, it will push you far away from Krishna Bhakti. That is the loss, greatest loss of life. This life is meant for developing Krishna consciousness, to become devotee of Krishna. Bhagavad Gita is left by Krishna to make all people after him to become devotees. Manmana bhavamad bhakta madhyajimam namaskuru. The instruction is there. But this rascal will spoil, will never allow him to become a devotee. These rascals are so dangerous. They are going against the will of Krishna. You see. So one must be very careful to save himself from the poisonous effect of these rascals. Therefore Narottam Das Thakur says, Tadero sarana sevi bhakta sanivas. Live with the Krishna consciousness devotees. And then by association of the Sangha Sanjayatika, as you make association, so you develop your desires, your qualities. Tadera charana sevi. এই ছয় গোসাই যার তার মই দাস Chaitanya, Narottam Das Thakur says, I want to become servant of that person who has accepted these 6 Goswamis as masters. Because I have to become servant of servant. So the Goswami, one who has accepted these Goswamis as masters, I want to become his servant. Narottam Das does not say, I want to become servant of the Goswami. He says that I want to become servant of that person who has accepted these 6 Goswamis as master. That is the test. No, I can speak, I can act, greater than the Goswamis. I don't want to become servant of such false proudy. No, anyone who submits, Tadero charana sevi bhakta sane vas, janame more eiyo bilas. Oh, I may not be liberated, birth after birth, it doesn't matter. But I wish to live with the devotees, bhakta sanevas, janame more eiyo bilas. Bhaktivinoda Thakur also says the same thing. Janamayo vi jodi more ichha tohara. He prays to Krishna, if you want that I shall take again my birth, then give me the chance of taking my birth in a place where is your devotee. That is my only request. Because if I am blessed in a society where there is no devotee, then my life will be spoiled. Then my life will be spoiled. Therefore I pray only this much. I don't want anything from you. Na dhanang, na janang, na sundaring, kapitang, jagadisukam. Mama janmani, janmani. It doesn't matter. I don't become liberated. What is liberation? If I am in the service of Krishna, what is liberation is already there. In Krishna Karnamrita you find Bhakti stai sthiratara jadi bhagavan sha daivena phalati dibba kishora murti mukti mukulitanjali sevata. Mukti, she will stand with folded hand. My dear sir, what can I do for you? This is the position of bhakta. If one becomes bhakta, then mukti becomes her maid servant. Why shall he aspire for mukti? Mukti is nothing. Kaivallang naraka. What is mukti? It is as good as hell. Mukti means to merge into the Brahma effulgence, but there is no service of Krishna. It is simply merging to become one, just like sunshine. And if you are put into the sunshine, what benefit do you get? Simply the hot, torching, the scorching heat up, that's all. What benefit do you get? And mukti is like that. That is light. Sunshine is light. Similarly, from darkness, if I go to the light and don't get any shelter anywhere, simply I remain in that sunshine, what benefit do I get? So, for a devotee, the mukti is bothersome. Therefore, Prabhupada Saraswati, Prabhupada says that Kaivalam Narakaya, mukti means Kaival. Simply, Aham Brahmasmi, that's all. Kaival. This perception, Brahma person, Brahmananda. But for a devotee, he says, Kaivalam Narakayat, Tidasa Pura Akasa Puspayat. So for devotee, these things are not very much alluring. Mukti, bhukti, siddhi. It is so sublime. Krishna consciousness is so sublime that other things very insignificant in the front of Krishna consciousness. Mukti mukulitanjadi sevati asma dharmartha kama moksha samaya pratiksha. People are after dharma, artha, kama, moksha. But this bhakti is above these four kinds of principles. Dharma, actually human life begins when he is religious, dharma. And artha, when he is economically developed, and when he can satisfy the senses very nicely, and then becomes mukta, liberated. But for a devotee, these four things are not very important things. Bhukti, mukti, siddhi. No, siddhi means mukti. Siddhi means yogic siddhi. So, in the Srimad Bhagavatam also, Vyasdev says in the beginning, dharma projita koitavata. This dharma, artha, kam, moksha, these are koitava. Koitava means phalavishandi. I am approaching, I am trying to become a religious person, but my inner desire is how to make my economic position develop. This is my inner position. Therefore it is called koita, cheating. So, phalavishandi. Sridhar Swami says that in the Srimad Bhagavatam, phalavishandi parjantam nirastam. Mukti. Mukti is also phalavishandi. So, up to mukti, then above mukti, there is bhakti. It is a mistaken idea that one has to attain mukti by bhakti. Sometimes they say that this Panchapasak, Mayavadi, they say that ultimately the absolute truth is nirakar. There is no form. But because you cannot worship or meditate upon the nirakar, so just imagine some form, either of Vishnu or Lord Shiva or Surya or Devi, Panchopasana. It is called Panchopasana. Sadhukanam hitarthaya brahmana rupa kalpana. This is kalpana, imagination. Ultimately, the Brahma has no form. But because you are accustomed to meditate on the forms, and it is very difficult for you to meditate upon the formless, so you imagine some form. This is imagine, not fact. That is their theory. And Bhagavan says in the Bhagavad, Klesha udikatarastesam abbhaktya saktachitasam. So that is simply troublesome. After much trouble in that way, when they come to the form of Vasudeva, Vasudeva sarvamiti, Samahatma Sudhita, that Mahatma is greater. Krishna is not imagination. This is another offense to think of Krishna as imagination. They say that it is imagination. Kalpana. Just make a kalpana, imagination of Krishna. No, Krishna is fact. Krishna, the Krishna devotees, they are not after imagination. They are after the fact. Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavaneti sabdoti. Bhagavan, the personal. Krishna says, Brahmanam pratishtha, upajananti manamura manusim tanumat, param bhava vajanat. So these things will be realized through the process, as it is recommended by Narottam Das Thakur. Tadero charano sebi bhakta sane bas, janame janame more eiyo vilas. If we get the chance of living with the devotees and try to serve the Goswamis who wanted to establish the mission of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then our life will be successful. This is Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. To study Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu very minutely, and this result you will achieve very easily. The Rupa Goswami has left the nectar of devotion. What is the next?
Let's offer our respectful obeisances to all the great devotees and acharyas, who are holy teachers, who are compared with sharks in the great ocean of nectar, and who do not care for the various rivers of liberation.
Yes. Sometimes the Mayavadi philosophers, they give this example that as all the rivers come down to the ocean, and then business is finished. But our philosophy is not so scanty. We do not wish to mix with the ocean. We want to go deep into the ocean. They give this example, nirakar, because ocean it is not nirakar, but it is still they say nirakar. Ocean has a akar, we see a round plate. But anyway, their philosophy is that you come to the ocean by different paths. then it becomes mixed. But they do not know, even though you come to the ocean, and immediately it will be evaporated. The ocean water is evaporating. The sun is always evaporating. Now he will be perhaps surprised. The modern science, they believe that the ocean water turns into cloud. But actually that is not the fact. The fact is that the ocean water is taken by the sun. Now there is heat, ocean water is evaporated always. Where is the cloud? Where is the cloud? For 3 years the ocean water is being taken away by the sun, sign. And why there is no cloud and no rain? Why? What is the answer of the scientist? Actually, the cloud, when the sun god, he ejects the water again, that becomes cloud. The rain comes from the sun, as the sun is taking the water, deserving, and when it deserves, he gives it. There is some control. So, we are suffering for want of rain, but we do not know how to get rain. We are of course making arrangement to feed the poor on account of scarcity of grains. That's all right you are doing. But if there is no rain, how long you will go on with this philanthropic work? That is our question. How long? What stock you have got in your store, so that you can continually go on with this? What is the answer? You must have rain and produce grain. Now you have got some stock of grain you are distributing, that's all right, you have got money, that's all right. But when there will be all stock finished and still there is no rain, what will you do? Because rain is not in your hand. Rain is not in your hand. It is in higher authorities. That's what you will do. But the process is given there in the Bhagavad Gita. Jagyat bhavati pajjanna, pajjanyat anna sammata. Jagya, but they will not take to Jagga. They have made a vow. Decision. No, we are not going to make any Jagga. We are requesting that you are distributing at the same time perform Jagga. Jagga, not that you have to expend so much money. It's simply this. Sankirtanai Jagga. Jaggai Sankirtanai Prai Jajanti Ismedas. The simply chanting. You are distributing food, that's all right. Why not allow them to chant Hare Krishna mantra? What is the loss? But they will not accept it. They will not accept it. This is the dog's obstinacy against Krishna consciousness. You see. But they cannot answer. They suppose if your stock of grain is finished, then what will you do if there is no rain? You cannot produce rain in your factory, rain or grain or anything in your factory and milk. That is not possible. So people have become so fallen, they cannot understand the instruction of Bhagavad Gita. Although they are very much proud, they are reading Bhagavad Gita daily. What you have understood, then they cannot say anything. We have understood Krishna means this black spot. This rascal has understood Bhagavad Gita and is preaching Bhagavad Gita. Just see the fun. So this is going on. So Our this Krishna consciousness movement is a war declared against all these rascals. We have got many enemies, but we don't care for them. Still we shall go on. Johnny Walker is still going strong.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.